I'm listening to a radio play of Alice in Wonderland, and they're singing that even meaning has no meaning. That doesn't surprise me, considering that Alice is chasing a rabbit and drifting ever deeper into a world of fantasy and fairy tale. In other words, illusion. There are people who see reality as boring, ugly, unpleasant, even terrifying, and traumatic. So they protect themselves by escaping into a world of illusion, a path that seems to have no end. It's hard to find meaning in such a world because the further it strays from reality and objective truth, the more absurd it becomes. Of course, we respect the worlds of others. They are colorful indeed, but are they worth our energy and time? Where does such a path lead? To the moment when the illusion bursts and we're confronted with reality. And the greater the high, the more painful the fall. The more one has accumulated, the greater the loss. The stronger the attachment, the harsher the detox. I've come to understand one thing, something optimistic. The real objective and true world is a just and inevitable order. You cannot escape it, not through longevity, nor by painting everything pink, nor by regressing into an embryonic state, nor through drugs or alcohol. In truth, you can only drown in it or make yourself ridiculous by trying to flee from the inevitable. The only subjectivity that matters is individual sin. When the reckoning comes, one must pay for it. That is, feel its weight, almost experience the consequences of the humiliation we inflicted on someone, feel the sadness we caused. All of it will reveal itself with its true force of impact. We will not only realize that we did wrong, that we stood on the dark side, we will be judged by the same measure with which we judged our neighbor. Neighbor or brother is a meaningful word. It signifies the connection of blood, but also of spirit. Evil done will return to the perpetrator. The only question is when he will recognize it, when he will see the connection. Sometimes only in the face of death and of God. Of course, there is judgment and there is punishment. It's worth not only reconciling with God, but also forgiving and making amends with one another. It turns out that one path leads to absurdity, ridicule, confusion, even death, while the other leads to truth, order, peace, meaning, and justice. I also have a deep conviction that, just as day follows night, so the dark, hooded Grim Reaper knocking at the door merely heralds the end of a day, and in the night one sleeps, to be awakened again by the morning light. So, if we do not find mercy within ourselves, I doubt we can expect it at the last judgment. To grasp the true face of God, there is no need to stage drama, despair, and scenes of sorrow. Rather, one should maintain calm, peace of heart, a mirror undisturbed by the waves of emotion. For a rippled mirror distorts the image of God, of reality, of truth. Of course, there are some who prefer the distortion, who delight in it and call it beautiful. Why change someone's linear perception into a quantum one? The ordinary, straightforward way of seeing, that's how it was designed to function well. What would happen if the main part of the brain responsible for functioning in the world, in civilization, memory, and identity were displaced by something else, hidden deeper, and focused on some fixated emotional problem, or worse, on instinct, that would turn people into passive beings, driven by emotion, Hulks, Jokers, Thors, or Harry Potters? It's worth considering whether we are identifying our children with a lonely boy, a witness to the loss of his parents, who in reality is mistreated, yet in his world of illusion becomes someone special. What's more, he maintains a close bond with his oppressor. There's a lot of truth in the saying, every cloud has a silver lining. If someone learns from painful lessons, draws conclusions, that is progress. But it's worse when one becomes fixated on replaying scenes, seeking escape in the illusory, increasingly limited world one has created. Every suffering brings a person closer to truth, though it can also push them away. I suspect that modern man is so distant from God and from truth that when confronted with his presence, he would react like Neo in the Matrix when he is brutally pulled from the simulated world into reality. Welcome to the real world. Well, if someone had an illusory vision of life, reality will suddenly seem repulsive. He won't want to accept it. He'll want to design it himself, to reshape it, to create yet another illusory matrix. The brain, when cornered, trapped in a box, a private prison, finds it hard to judge the world objectively or to see beauty and genuine needs. Only from the standpoint of reason, empathy, and awareness of our immense interdependence and shared spirit can one approach the absolute. Because, in general, it's hard for a person to change, but what's optimistic is that it's easier for him to understand, and from understanding comes the hope of change.